Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Manny here once again. Welcome back to DFS Zone, your source for daily fantasy sport lineup advice for the NFL, NBA, WNBA, and MLB. And before I continue on with the video, like always, guys, I appreciate you guys dropping a like on the video. And if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, first time here, never seen any one of my videos, please do so down below. And do not forget to turn on those notifications. This way, you do not miss any of my new uploads. With that being said, today is Wednesday, June the 6th, 2018, and we're down now to the Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. The Golden State Warriors travel over to Cleveland, and man, I don't know, I'm just going to give you a little bit of my take on this series thus far, and of course, what we could expect in Game 3. As a fan, obviously at this point in time, I'm saying to myself, going into this GPP, is Cleveland is going to need to obviously win tonight, or not, they're pretty much done. I mean, and Golden State's, whole message tonight is to go in there and take it to the Cavaliers and test their willpower, test their strength, test them, emotionally and physically, and see if they can hang in there. That's the way I would look at it as a coach and as a player going in. You must go in there and try to finish this thing up. Don't give Cleveland any momentum whatsoever. They are at home. They have been playing really well at home, as well as almost everybody else in the playoffs. But you are dealing with the Golden State Warriors. And for me, as a fan, at this point in time, hey, you know what? I just can't see it. I said it going into the series. I didn't think that Cleveland has enough offensive weapons. They did play a heck of a first game. They could have stole that game and put themselves in a better position now. Obviously, they came out looking horribly in Game 2, and if they don't come back with a lot of willpower, if LeBron don't go out there, and I expect LeBron to go out there and ball his ass off. I'd be totally honest with you. This guy, for certain, is not going to just let this team or himself put the team in a position that they're just going to go and lay down and just, fold it up for the year. He's going to come out. He's going to try to ball his butt off. I expect LeBron to have a massive game today. I just don't know if they're going to be able to weather the storm at some point from Golden State, because, Golden State, pretty much hangs around there. Even when they're not having a bad shooting night, they find a way to at least get themselves back on track and usually get themselves back into some games. But if Cleveland don't win tonight, is all said and done, I don't see it's going to be I would think it's going to be a sweep at that point in time. And if they get blown out, obviously this team's whole demeanor, their whole mindset, they're going to be deflated going into Game 4. So as a Golden State Warrior, you got to go in there, try to finish this off. You don't want to give them no momentum. Now, if Cleveland can muster up a big win here tonight, which this is the night that they need to get the win, because they do not want to go down 3-love and be in a position there every game is an elimination game. For them right now, for me personally, as a coach, I coach travel baseball. There's no way I could allow my team or any player to think that we should be laying down at all. We want to make sure that we make a strong effort to play as hard as we possibly can and give ourselves a chance to win the game. Now, if they're able to win this game, they're able to at least probably get themselves back in the series. Anything can happen. We've seen it happen in multiple, in other sports over the course of over the years, where teams just get a little momentum. So Cleveland needs a big win here tonight. If they do not win this game tonight, they are done. It's just, I just can't see any way around it. I still think they're going to lose the series even if they win tonight. But as a player, as a person who's playing the game, you really just want to try to win the game and give yourself a chance, to fight for another day. And then it at least put them in a position where right now at this point in time, every game is an elimination game for Cleveland, because they can't afford to lose any more games. They need to win a game. They need to win 2 in a row just to make this into a 3-game series and give themselves a chance. So if they're not able to do that, it's going to be done. That's pretty much it. That's my take on it. I expect Golden State to come out and try to fire all their guns and try to get these guys to fold. They're going to test their willpower. And if Cleveland could withstand that, and they can actually have a great game, and LeBron can ball his tail off to the point that he can carry this team to a victory, then, we'll see an interesting Game 4. That's for certain. But if Golden State wins, it is done. So me as a coach, I'll be like, hey, let's just take care of business and let's just wrap this up here, so that this way we put this team on the brink of elimination the rest of the way. And then you're sitting pretty saying, hey, you know what? We just got to muster up one more big game, and we're done with the series, and we're the world champions again. That's what Golden State's thinking. Cleveland, they obviously just want to survive, win a game tonight, put themselves in position to be down only one game, and hopefully build some momentum off of that into Game 4. Well, we will see. All right, so going in, let me go to the cruncher. Basically, like I've told you guys who have been watching, for me personally, MVP spot where you're going to get the most fantasy point bonus points you're going to get, you got to go with these three guys right here. There's no other way around it. If you don't have James in the MVP spot, you definitely should have Durant or Curry. Hands down. That's just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect that. And everybody's entitled to playing who they think is the right choice. But I think for my viewers out there, I'm giving you guys advice. I would say you definitely got to favor any one of these three. And I would favor LeBron more than anybody today. He didn't have the greatest of games. He didn't have a typical LeBron 70 massive point game, as you will look here. He got a 60 spot. Any given day, any player will take 60 as a fantasy player. We will take that hands down. But this was like an off game for him. He only took 20 shots, as you can see here, as opposed to 32 in the previous game. He rested 4 minutes. That's about it. He did have a good passing game. The turnovers have still been an issue. He's been averaging in these two games about 66. You figure about 66, 67 if you put these together. So, not too bad. And his shooting percentage is not too bad either. He shot 50% here, shot a little bit over 50 here. So he's about 50, 51% from the floor. He's not too bad at all. 5 shots out of 11 from 3. That's not bad. That's over 50% as well. So he's still shooting the ball well. It's just last game they got too far out in front, Golden State, and there was just no way. They were able to come back. So, but LeBron is in play, obviously, as MVP. I expect him to smash 70 fantasy points today. And if you have him in this spot, that's about 140. And he's going to have to do that for Cleveland to win. If he doesn't get that, then he's got to hope that Kevin Love, who is my only other choice out of the Cavaliers that I can count on, and that anybody should count on as far as getting over 30 or 40 fantasy points, Kevin Love is the only one who can do that. All right, so let's move on. We got Kevin Durant. Definitely correct. Durant is in play. Durant is pretty much in the 50s. In these two games, probably about 53 if you break it down. So 53. Averaging 53, did have a terrible shooting game in Game 1. Had a great shooting game in Game 2. Look at this. He took 17 shots and he hit 12 of them. So that's fantastic. And he was 4-4 from the free throw line. So that's awesome as well. 7 assists. He had a decent, good KD game. And, another thing to point out here, with KD, bottom line is if KD gets 50 or better and you can get 50 or better from Curry or from Klay Thompson, I think it's a wrap no matter what. Because, if you think about it, if you look here, Durant 50, 56. Let's look back at Houston. 57 here, and they won that game, right? Let's look at Curry now. Last game against Houston, 62. That's why it was a wrap. If those two guys can score in the 50 range, and if I go a little bit further down, we'll look here. And even if you have Curry, like for instance here, Curry in this game only got 48. That was Game 5 against Houston. Let's look at Durant for a moment. Game 5. And Durant in Game 5 put up a 34. Now you say to yourself, they lost that game, right? One, Durant didn't shoot well. More than likely, Klay didn't shoot as well either. There you go. Klay only 25. This is what I'm trying to get on. Now look at Klay. Shot 56 here in Game 6 against Houston. You go back to Curry. Game 6 against Houston only put up a 51. Okay, so both of them shot for over 50. So that means Durant probably didn't do that. And Durant didn't. Durant only put up 39, almost a 40 spot. So it comes to show you that if you need two of these offensive guys to put up a 50 or better fantasy points, and you got a shot, they got a shot to win. All right, so I'm looking at it. You need their top guns. Durant and Curry are the top guns here for MVP spot, and LeBron James for Cleveland. You go in the star spot, these are the only guys I'm interested in the star spot. James, Durant, Curry. I would not be opposed to Draymond Green, Kevin Love, or Klay Thompson. Any one of those guys would not be a bad play at star. But, of course, if I'm focusing on the main three studs, then I'm going James, and we will go back on Fanduel, and we'll draw some teams up real quick. I will go James Durant or James Curry, and then switching them up, Curry James or Durant James, as far as MVP and star. Those are the only guys in play, at least in my opinion. Thompson, Love, Green, Curry, Durant, and James in the star spot. In the pro spot, the only ones I'm considering there are, again, the same five guys: Durant, Curry. I would consider Draymond Green. As you saw, I did not put Draymond Green in my star spot, but I would definitely be willing to play him here. I think he's going to have a good game. I just feel that Clay and I think the other three guys, 2 out of those 3 are going to have a more massive game, at least today, to try to make this a 3-love series lead. And something tells me it's going to be Durant and Curry, or maybe Durant, Curry, or Klay Thompson, more so as opposed to Green. So Green is in my pro spot. He will be someone I would consider. 45 is the projection. He had a 28, which is a dud game, obviously, for him. Didn't play that well, but he had a 58. He's hit 50s twice out of the last 4. So we know he's capable of getting there. We know he's a triple-double threat all the time. We know that. We say that all the time here. Kevin Love has been playing really good as of late. And I like Kevin Love. 43 and a 37 the last 2 games. Those were better numbers than he has had in 3-4 previous games. 35 and 39 minutes. His minutes are up. That means Jeff Green is getting minimal minutes. So, you know, as long as he's shooting the ball well, and I've said it before, as long as Kevin Love is shooting the ball relatively well, they're going to keep him on there. And now they realize that they definitely going to he's going to be on the floor today. They don't want to go down 3-0. They need this guy. As long as he's healthy, has no problems with concussion protocols or anything like that, he's going to be on the court. He's going to get 30-plus minutes. 22 and 21 respective straight-up points in the game. 13 and 10 rebounds. You know he's going to get dirty. He's going to do those things. What I like to see is a little bit more efficiency from the 3. If he can get 50% or better, that will definitely benefit us as fantasy players. And, of course, it will benefit him because he'll be on the floor. Something to consider there. So Kevin Love is in play for me at the pro spot. And I also like Klay Thompson. He's been in the red last 3 games, just slightly close to value, around value. Hasn't been really bad. I mean, but 34 and 45 minutes in these 2 games, respectively, against Cleveland. You know, he shot pretty decent in the last game, at least from the floor. 8 of 13, 8 of 16 prior to that, 3 of 8 from 3. You know he's not going to do a lot of the other things. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't pass the ball well because he's always in the wing. He's looking for that open opportunity to bury a quick 3. You know, so he's definitely just a jump shooter, but a very deadly one at that. So Klay Thompson is in play for me on the pro spot. I think that he should be someone you should consider. Then we go here to guard. The only ones that I would consider other than Klay in the utility spot as a guard would be Klay Thompson, George Hill, Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith, Sean Livingston, and Rodney Hood. And the only reason Hood is in here now is because there's been obviously in the news stating that Rodney Hood will probably get a little bit more action, which I've been saying it since the series started. That, I mean, this is one of the reasons why they brought these guys in here. Clarkson has not been that good. And when, you know what, me as a coach, if Clarkson's not getting it done, then try the next guy. Rodney Hood should have been given at least a little bit of a chance up to this point. He hasn't. You brought these guys here in the trade deadline for a reason. You would figure they were here to help against a team like Golden State. Quicker, more athletic guys that have offensive firepower, that could be explosive at any point. Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson, these guys, because they're not being utilized as regularly as we should, they're not going to be consistent. That's what's going to happen. These guys need to be on the floor. So if Rodney Hood gets a little bit of playing time today at his price, $3,000, heck, man, I'll take a stab at him in a lineup or 2. Why not? So he's in play. Sean Livingston's in play because he's been getting sufficient minutes. You know, he's getting 15 or more. He got 15 and 18 in the 2 games, and he's getting shots off. I mean, he's 5 of 5. He didn't miss a shot in the last game, 4 of 4 in the previous game. I'll take 10 points for that price for $6,000. But Rodney Hood is probably the play of the day other than going to the forwards. These are the only guys I would consider there. Obviously, we already spoke about Love. Tristan Thompson is in play. Larry Nance, of course. Looney, Green, McGee, West, Osman, and Zizik. And you're probably saying, why is Osman and Zizik here? Well, like I threw in a lineup in the last game, in game 2, where I had 4 players. I used 4 studs. I cashed $8. I think it was $8 or something like that. And I just decided to just throw that. And I threw in Zizik. He was totally free, but I knew that I can just use all that money and pay up for another possible stud. And it paid off. You know, it got me some money. It didn't win me the tournament, but I think it's possible to pull out a victory in a tournament like this, in a GPP, with one of these guys at this cheap price. I mean, David West is fairly cheap here, $2,500, so you could be able to do something with him. McGee, I was, last minute, about an hour and a half before lock, they said that he was going to be playing. He was going to start. I went inside there and I switched 2 of my lineups, and I moved in McGee. I threw in David West in 1 or 2 lineups, and it would have been great to have them both in the same lineup. I didn't do that because I think the person who won, or the individuals that did win, had those 2 guys in the utility spot. So definitely something to consider. All right, so let's move on to Fanduel. Let's just draw up a couple of lineups so this way I can wrap it up and let you guys go about your business. MVP spot, like I said, there's only 3. The top 3 are right here. So let's do one with James. Now we go over here. I think we definitely need to get a Golden State guy. Let's go Curry. Okay, now it's when it starts getting a little tricky, like always. We always got to figure things out. Now, we can go Love at home. I kind of like the idea of Love being in the pro spot today. Now you only got 5,500, okay? Now it gets really, really dicey here. I was looking at this earlier, and I'm saying to myself, who would I take in this lower level? Now, you could go in and take a stab at McGee or Hood right off the bat at 3,000. All right, so let's say we go with JaVale, right? Now we got 8. Now we can definitely have some money to price back up. You can go Looney. You can go Carver. Carver hasn't had probably much action at all. I mean, 17, 16 minutes, he's just not getting nothing done offensively. And when you choose Kyle Carver, it's because you are anticipating and hoping that he's going to be able to just fire missiles away and be hot and give you 20, 25 fantasy points. And right now, he's just not really a part of this offense as far as scoring is concerned. I mean, he's not getting the open looks, or they're not even looking to feed it to him. So I'm not on Kyle Korver at all. Jeff Green, I mean, the longest Kevin Love is playing well, Jeff Green is going to get minimized in minutes, all right? And we saw that. You see, from 35 and 41 while Love was gone, boom, down to 19. And they only put up a 9 spot, 10 spot pretty much for 19. So that's way below. You know, I love 1 fantasy point per minute if you can get it. So Kyle Korver, Jeff Green. You got J.R. Smith. I have been fading J.R. Smith, and I've been like knocking him. I don't want to play him. I wouldn't mind playing him here at home. Game 3, they need a big win. They need somebody to come through. J.R. Smith may get a little fired up and play well enough today to get you there. He's been playing enough minutes. He plays more than enough minutes. I am very surprised how much they give the minutes to J.R. Smith and not try to get Ronnie Hood in there. But we're going to see, because they're talking about Ronnie Hood getting minutes, and some of that has got to come off of J.R. Smith. It's got to come off some of his time, because it's different if he was playing 31, 38 minutes and he's producing 25, 30 fantasy points. I would love this more if he played 31 minutes and he got me 20 to 25 instead of 14. I would love 38 minutes here and hope that he got me close to 30, like 28, 30. I would take that. But 38 minutes and you got 20, pretty much fantasy points less per minute, that's not something that interests me, as a GPP player. I want to see, and we know he has upside. He is a GPP play, but not when he's getting this massive minutes and he has not produced. When was the last time JR put 30? He hasn't put 30 since way back here against Toronto, May 1st. And we all the way in June, 6th. He hasn't done it. And I don't think he will. But today wouldn't be a bad play. Let's say we add him there. You still have 1,500, and you got a lineup like this where you have 3 Cavaliers, which I think if you're going to go with a stack, and I've said this before, Cleveland is definitely a 3-2 stack. I cannot see a 4-1 stack with Cleveland. But a 3-2 stack, Cleveland works. And I definitely absolutely love a Golden State stack of 3-2. So you can go 3-2 stack Golden State or 4-1 stack Golden State, and I will not have any quorums whatsoever with anybody doing that. I would not be opposed to it whatsoever. I think that'll be a fine play. especially if Golden State was at home. We're in Cleveland today. I'm kind of favoring, and I'm kind of saying to myself, hey, you know what? I got to try to get at least 2, definitely 3 Cleveland Cavalier guys. The 2 Cavalier guys that you must have in your lineup if you're going to do a 3-2 Cleveland stack is definitely LeBron James and Kevin Love. You got to have those 2, hands down. And you got to just roll the dice and hope that the other 3 you put in there with them are going to pan out. So this is one way to go about it. I mean, it doesn't have to be this way. You could say, hey, you know what? I don't want any one of those guys. I am willing to take the 11,000 and bank it all like I did on someone else, like Bam or Klay Thompson. Now you got 4 offensive weapons. If Klay Thompson balls his butt off at the utility spot and gets you 35, 40, maybe even, and we know he's capable of getting you a 45, 50. Let's say he's able to do that. He put up a 56 spot a couple of games ago. Give me just 40 from there in the utility spot. If he gives me 40 from there or 50, he'll make up for that one guy here that I'm playing for free, that I'm just basically giving him up so that I can take my chances with 4 monsters. And then obviously you just go down here to the bottom and you just take any one of these guys. I would take Zizik just in case. Take Zizik just in case this game gets a little out of hand and Mr. Zizik gets put in the game like he was put in late in game 2. Right? Zizik. He played 3 minutes and got 2 points in the last game because of the blowout when they decided to just take everybody out. Or you can go Osman, but you don't have enough money here for Osman. You'll have 0 money. Take this guy. He's a free guy pretty much. You upgrade yourself to another monster. You can go that route. I think this is a decent play. It don't have to be these 4 guys. You can see if you can get Durant in there and get someone else, maybe a George Hill if you feel, because obviously Durant is 1,000 more. Durant is 1,000 more than Curry. Yes, he's at 16. So you can go this route. James, Curry, Love, Thompson, and then bam, throw in there Zizik. Or you could throw anybody else. It doesn't matter. Holland, whatever you want. I go Zizik because there's that possibility that if the game gets out of hand, they will give him a couple of minutes. And he may get you another fantasy point or 2. Or 3. In this case, in the last game, he got me 2. All right, so you can go that way. You clear that up. Let's do just 1 or 2 more because I don't want to. I want people to. You can always go with the Golden State. Having Durant. Just go right away and pay up and go with Durant there, and then put James in the star spot, and then you have no choice. You cannot go Curry. I mean, maybe we can. Let's see what we got. What we have left. We only have 3,500. So when you take those 3 guys, you find yourself you only got 7,000. You can pay up again for 1 utility guy, but that player is going to have to smash it. It could be JR. It could be Jeff Green, JR, Jordan Bell, Sean Livingston. You could take a stab at Rodney Hood. He's only 3. I mean, you can go with any one of these guys here. McGee is only 3. Livingston is 6. But these 3 guys here will have to have monstrous games. You're going to need to have James put up 60, 70 fantasy points and Durant and Curry over 50 plus each for that to really pan out. Okay, and then hope that this utility guy, whoever you put in this slot here, let's say we just say J.R. Smith, you got to hope J.R. Smith balls. And then your last spot, you only got 500 left. You go back and you throw yourself Zizik in there. Now you got a 3-2 Cleveland stack with only LeBron and J.R. Smith and Zizik with Curry and Durant. You got your 3 monsters up front. You're switching them around a little bit, a little different. Maybe move Durant, KD on top, and James at the bottom in the star spot. You can do that. You can clear that up, and you can just go a regular. Let's go Durant. Let's go James. And then you have no choice. You either go Love or Klay Thompson. You still have 11,000 left. That's 55 per. You come down here, and you're going to have to take a stab at, I don't know. You could go Smith with Rodney Hood. Or you can go take him out, put Hood in there, and hope that he does get 10 or 15 minutes and he produces. And you can go in there with an Iggy if he is, right now he's a game time decision. He's questionable. He's not probable, so chances are he's probably not going to play. They've been winning without him anyway, so I mean, I guess they don't need to rush him. You can go Jeff Green here. You can go Carver here. Carver's definitely out of the question. I would say Jeff Green, J.R. Smith. You can go Sean Livingston with 6,000. You can go all the way to Looney. You know, you can go Jordan Bell. Jordan Bell didn't get that many minutes in the last game. I would go Sean Livingston. And you still have 2,000 left over, which you can always upgrade. I don't know if you can, how much you can upgrade. You can upgrade Clay Thompson. You can keep it like this, and you can upgrade Clay Thompson for Mr. Kevin Love. You got more than enough. So you could go Love or Clay there. You still got 3 nice offensive weapons and 2 possible guys that could be sleepers for you. You can go that route. Man, you know, I don't know. I don't want to drag the video, but you guys got the idea. The guys that have been following have been, you know, you guys are commenting down below. We've been going back and forth, man. I mean, you know, we keep discussing it. We keep discussing it. If this could get through tonight would not be a good night for me to do a live stream. I would definitely do it for Game 4, even if it's 3-love or if it's 2-1 series. I don't even know when is the Game 4, but I mean, if it's on Friday or Saturday or something like that, I can definitely do it then. Tonight is not a good night for me to do a live stream at that time. But I could do that so we could mingle about it as well and comment and discuss it. But yeah, you guys just you know, comment down below, man. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you guys think about the strategy of using 4 guys and utilizing one of those free players, one of those you know, just upgrading that third, that one utility spot and just going with a nice offensive weapon if we can squeeze one in there, like I did show you, and then just going with a Zizic or Holland or someone who's not going to get any playing time and save that money. Let me know if you think that's a good strategy. Like I said, I did use it and it did work. I don't know if it could get you to win the GPP, but hey, you know what? You never know. It may get you maybe a few $20. It may get you maybe 100. Who knows? And you can actually play that lineup in a cash game lineup as well, and you may be able to pull out a cash game depending on which size cash game you're playing. If you're playing a 10-player, a 5-player, a 20-player, a 100-player, it might be enough to use that strategy. But I still think the best strategy is 3-2 Cleveland because they're at home. So a 3-2 stack Cleveland Cavaliers will work. And I'm not at all, you know, I will have a lineup of 2. As you can see, I have 5 entries here. I will have at least 2 lineups with at least a 3-2 Golden State stack. I'm not looking for 1 Golden State today, you know, at least at the moment. I'm thinking a 3-2 Cleveland or a 3-2 Golden State stack will work, and I'm not at all opposed to that 2-2, that 4-player stacking with leaving 1 utility guy with no money. I think that will work as well. All right, guys, let me know what you think, man. Comment down below, man. Drop a like on the video, of course, like always, man. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet. I would appreciate it. I definitely appreciate all you guys. This has been fun. I expect to continue to do NBA to the end. As you guys know, I do WNBA. I didn't do one yesterday because there was an 11 o'clock game, and I didn't realize that until I got home, and it was just too late for me to draw something up and say to myself, hey, you know what, make a video and get it out there and be able to help anybody. So I don't know what they were thinking there with the WNBA having a 12 o'clock noon game on a Tuesday afternoon. I just don't know what that was about. But nonetheless, I mean, I wasn't able to do one yesterday, so but I will be back with the WNBA, of course, tomorrow. And MLB, I mean, I've been watching it. I've been playing here and there. I will be doing MLB like I discussed before with MLB. I am not planning to do large slates. It's just a lot of work, especially while I'm doing WNBA, and especially if I have to do 2 videos in one day, which I don't mind doing. That MLB will have to be a smaller slate. I'm also leaning towards just maybe doing videos on 3-4 game slates like the after hours, and letting you know in the thumbnail that it is an after hours slate lineup advice. And the same thing with maybe 8 o'clock start. Sometimes you have these 8 o'clock games and they have GPPs on Fanduel for the 8 o'clock slot games only, the ones that are starting at 8. So I may go that route, whatever the case may be. But I know for a fact that I will be doing both, and of course, you know, so look for that. All right, guys? So again, man, drop a like on the video. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. And please don't forget to turn on the notifications. This way you don't miss any of my videos. And good luck tonight. And, you know, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thinking, man. You know the regular guys. You know who you guys are. Hopefully some of you guys made some money the other day. We have not discussed. I did think some guys did comment and said they made a few dollars. I made a few dollars too, nothing big. But I'm going to be gunning again today, and I know you guys will be as well. So let's go back and forth. Let's discuss a few things and let's see what's going on. And like I said, maybe for Game 4, if it's on Friday or Saturday over the weekend, definitely I am available to do a live stream for that one. At least an hour and a half before lock. Last time I did it an hour before, and I ended up shooting the shit for a while. And by the time you know it was almost game time, and I didn't even finalize a few lineups, so I don't want to do that. If I needed to make any changes, I want to have a little bit of time. So maybe an hour and a half before lock, and then then maybe chit-chatting for about an hour. All right, so if that's cool, man, just let me know. All right, guys, hey, have a blessed day. Good luck tonight, and your boy Manny is out.